Alright, here we are, drafting some more Arena Cube. I really like this rendition of the Arena Cube. They've added, Kaldheim cards, a bunch of the new historic cards, and I think the cube is officially at a point where you either need to be doing something broken, or you need to be able to stop broken things. It's sort of that old cube adage where it's just not enough to be kind of like, I'm just playing some good cards, I just get some value here and there. I think we've officially crossed the line with this rendition of the cube, where it really feels like it's just really easy to go over the top of any sort of value strategy. Okay, but let's get things started here. So, a few things stand out. Hazoret is a really good top end in an aggressive deck. Lyra Dawnbringer, really good against aggressive decks. Shark Typhoon, just a fantastic card all around, can be a great finisher in a control deck, and also you can just cycle it early and makes it really great against aggressive decks where you can, cycle out a blocker and also draw a card. And then there's more utilitarian cards like a Braid. Light Up the Stage is also very good in aggro. Yorion, you don't need to build the Yorion as a companion deck. It's just a good card in the right kind of deck. So the card that stands out the most to me here is Shark Typhoon. This just goes in a lot of different decks, whereas Hazoret the Fervent is a very specific kind of deck we want this in. Lyra is also kind of interesting, and Abrade is just kind of good anywhere. I think I am going to take the Abrade. I would, like I said before, you want to be trying to do something broken, or you want to be able to stop broken things. There was nothing in the pack that kind of jumped out to me as saying, this is what I want to be doing. This is my, Bolas' Citadel, for example, that's just going to win me most of my games. There's nothing like that, which is what we're really looking for, and pick one here. But if we don't have that, Abrade is just a really good versatile tool. It's going to be able to deal with stuff like Bolas' Citadel and other artifact threats, and it's just going to keep us alive against aggressive decks, which is important too. Or if we go into an aggressive deck, it's fine there too, get a blocker out of the way. So, all that said, looking at this pack, again, there's nothing that stands out as incredibly good. Oracle of Moldiah is quite good. I wouldn't quite put it up there as like a game-winning bomb, but if your opponent can't answer this, it can really easily do something like, effectively draw you like 4 or 5 cards, which, even though I kind of talked down in mid-range a bit, that's kind of enough to be good enough, especially because it's also kind of ramping you at the same time. And there's also this Rada, which we might wheel back around, because Rada is a lot worse than Oracle. So maybe we could go into like a green-red sort of land stack. Gonti is also, if I wasn't going to take Oracle, I'd probably take Gonti. Gonti is way better in Cube than you would expect. Just being able to take the best card out of your opponent's top 4. A lot of times with the card quality in Cube is going to just be a very, very good card you're pulling out of your opponent's deck. So we're going to speed things up a little bit because we're kind of stacked up on packs here, so I'm not going to talk too much in depth about the next few picks unless there's a reason to. Here, Mayhem Devil is kind of interesting. We could pick it. If picking it this early, we could actually build around it. We could go towards sort of a Jund sacrifice deck, with which Predator would be really good in if we wield that. Boon of the Wishgiver is also very good. Tangled Floral Hedron would go if we do want to kind of like have as many lands in our deck as possible. It kind of doubles as a land and also a creature, and a ramp spell. And Earthshaker Kimmer is really good in an aggressive deck, but I think we want to be more of a interactive deck than an aggressive deck with this Oracle. So, all that said, I think Triomes are also fine with Oracle because it can cycle a non-land out of the way. I think I'm going to take the Mayhem Devil. I think this is early enough in the draft that Mayhem Devil, I think we can actually make it work. If this was a little bit later in the draft, even later in this pack, I don't think I would pick this. But we're not married to this Oracle. We could just go into red-black sacrifice, and if we do make it to like Jund and have payoffs for this Mayhem Devil, that's also quite good. Mayhem Devil is just a really good finisher card. It can really power up some other sacrifice strategies, and it's good against aggro too. Just a 3-mana 3/3 body that can just pop one of their creatures for 1. Whenever we sacrifice anything, or whenever they sacrifice anything, it's quite good. Here, Shieldbreaker is kind of interesting. It is a way to kill artifacts and also a body we could potentially sacrifice. Gifted Aetherborn, very, very, very good against aggressive decks. Surveyor is kind of interesting. It would allow us to play 3 colors. Serulf isn't really what we want to be doing in a sacrifice deck, but it wouldn't be terrible there either. I think we're going to take the Skittering Surveyor. And from here, Agadeem's Awakening would be pretty interesting. Turn Timber Symbiosis is also good. Guardian Idol, you know, these 2-mana ramp effects are generally pretty good, although Guardian Idol is a lot worse than something like Mind Stone, especially when we have Mayhem Devil. Fauna Shaman might also be interesting. We do have like a utility creature with Skittering Surveyor that could be good at one point of the game, but could also be good to discard at a later point in the game. Captivating Crew is also, if we do a kind of sacrifice space deck, Captivating Crew could be very good. I think we're going to take Captivating Crew because not only is it good in a sacrifice space deck, but it can really punish some strategies. You know, if our opponent plays an Ulamog and we're able to, if we have the 8 mana to play the crew and steal it, we can just kill our opponent with their own Ulamog. So here, Siege Gang Commander would be quite good. We could just give up on the Oracle of Moldiah plan. There's kind of 2 ways we could go about this. We could take the Canyon Slough, whatever this card's called. And Fixing is just really good in Cube in general, because you're generally not going to be low on playables, right? And so the more fixing you can get, the better. I think I am going to take Slough based on that, because we're either going to be red-black, I think, or we're going to be Jund. And so I think the Slough is going to be in our deck either way. We would have really liked to take that Goblin, but I think we made the right choice there. Here, I think it's an easy Blood Artist. Kind of sad we don't get to pick up this Call of the Death Dweller, because it's quite good in a sacrifice base deck too. But now we've really got this sacrifice synergy set up here. We've got the Mayhem Devil and the Blood Artist, which are 2 of the best payoffs for the sacrifice deck. We could also take the Green Seeker here, Feed the Swarm. You know, this Oracle, I'm just not sure we're actually on the playing green plan. And Feed the Swarm is just a good removal spell. Kills anything, even kills enchantments, which black should not be able to do, but it does. Green Seeker is very good too, though. If I was a little more sure that we were in Jund instead of just red-black, I would take the Green Seeker here. But I'm gonna take the removal spell. Dread Wanderer can actually be pretty good in what we're trying to do. I think we're gonna take the Light Up the Stage, most likely, because we're probably gonna be playing a pretty low curve here, and Light Up the Stage is really good when you're doing that. Dread Wanderer is kind of it's a repeatable sacrifice effect, which is something we're interested in. But I think we're going to take Light Up the Stage, some card advantage, and we're going to, just for now, move... Wow, okay, well, there's Rada, though. There's Eliminate here, but to be honest, I do not like Eliminate. I think it's a pretty bad removal spell in this cube. It seems like a pretty, you know, good threshold of 3 CMC or less, but that actually misses a lot more targets that are important in this cube than it seems like. I guess out of these cards we're more likely to play Rada, and that lets us double up on these effects, which is kind of interesting. Blood for Bones, okay. Not sure that's exactly what we're going to be doing with our sacrifice deck. This is more of a, maybe we just take the Lazotep Reaver. Yeah, we're going to take the Lazotep Reaver. So it's 2 creatures in 1, and it's really good with certain cards that we want to be playing anyway, like Priest of Forgotten Gods, and also the 1-drop zombie that can draw some cards. Here, Mouth to Feed isn't the worst. Blossoming Defense is also kind of interesting. I think we actually take the Blossoming Defense. Agadeem's Awakening is a really good pickup this late. Oh, we actually got the Siege Gang back? Alright, okay. That does make me more interested in actually playing green, now that we have a 5-drop we actually want to play. We could beat... Wow. Speaking of green, Gilded Goose. Quite good here. Gilded Goose would be a really good way to ramp into our 3-drops, of which we have a good number. This is a land, this isn't really a 3-drop. But it would be a good way to fix our mana, a good way to ramp through our 3-drops, and also it allows us to repeatedly sacrifice by creating foods and sacrificing them. So it goes really well with Mayhem Devil, just to get those extra pings in. God Pharaoh's Gift would also be kind of interesting. I've been pretty impressed with this just as a finisher and really any sort of a go-long deck. Elspeth's Nightmare, good against most decks, and that it is a lot better in Best of 1. I don't think I would value this as highly if we were playing Best of 3. And then Dragon Skull Summit, like I was saying before, fixing is just great. But I think we're gonna take the Gilded Goose, and I think we're all in on the Jund plan here. So given that, Magda is kind of interesting. Magda gives us treasure, which allows us to cast the rest of our spells, and eventually we can go and get a dragon, of which we don't have one right now, but potentially could be good. We could also take Wayward Swordtooth. That would get us up to 3 of these sort of, like, basically, if we have Wayward Sawtooth out plus Oracle Moldiah or Rada, we start being able to play additional lands off the top of our deck, which is just a good way to basically draw a bunch of cards. Binding of the Old Gods is also quite good as an interactive spell. Old Growth Tomb is also... We do need to pick up Fixing. I think Crypt Breaker is also very good. I'm going to take the Crypt Breaker, actually. We already had the Last Step Reaver, and that's just a really good combo. These two cards can kind of draw you a million cards by themselves. Ooh, Llanowar Elves. Probably going to take the Llanowar Elves. Llanowar Elves is one of the best cards in the cube. It may not seem like it, but you know, one CMC Mana Dork is just super powerful. Being able to go Llanowar Elves turn 1, you know, Rada turn 2, or Mayhem Devil turn 2, you know, it can't really be overstated how powerful that is. And so now we're really going to be valuing Fixing from here on out. Speaking of which, here's a Blood Crypt. There is some good stuff we would want to pick up here, namely Skyclave Shade, which is something that we could sacrifice repeatedly. Soul Guide Lantern would also not be bad. But yeah, there's a mythic uncommon, Ruin Crab. Very powerful card. It's kind of... This card, it's hard to say it's like, oh, one of the best cards in the cube, because if you draw it late, it's a lot worse, but if you play this on turn 1 and your opponent doesn't have an answer, you just win. One blue mana, you win the game is kind of hard to beat. Wow, okay, Judith basically doubles up our Mayhem Devil. I really want to take this Fixing, this Temple of Malice, but I think we got to take the Judith. It just does exactly what we want with this deck. But I really got to stop passing Fixing at this point. It just is such a perfect fit, it's hard to pass. Field of Ruin could be... It's technically kind of Fixing, and there are some problematic lands we want to blow up here, like Field of the Dead. Having an answer to that main deck is pretty good. Thragtusk would also be very good. And a Languish might actually be fine, but I guess we have a lot of stuff that does die to Languish. But I think we'll take the field there. Bolas' Citadel went this late? That's insane. I actually can't believe we're seeing a Bolas' Citadel halfway through Pack 2. This is maybe the best card in the cube, especially when you pick it early. It's a little bit not as good here, now that we're picking it so late, but yeah, especially with our Oracle Moldiah, that allows us to play lands off the top, play additional lands, so we can kind of play Bolas' Citadel, have our Oracle out, and also kind of dig through lands to cast stuff with our Bolas' Citadel. So yeah, we're going to take that for sure. Here's a Zayoth Triumph, which we're not going to use the blue mana, but just a green-black dual land is really good. Cruel Celebrant, not really in our colors, but kind of in our strategy. So we're going to just take the Fixing. Like I said, we're going to be hard-pressed to pass any Fixing at this point. We're probably just going to snatch it up. Active Treason's kind of interesting. We don't really have sacrifice effects yet. I'm hoping we pick these up in Pack 3. We just haven't really seen any. But it is kind of interesting. I think we're more likely to play that in Icy Manipulator. Oh wow, we actually got a lot of this stuff back. Magda... Magda is super tempting because it makes Treasure is kind of Fixing, right? And it's a 2-drop we can actually cast. I mean, Treasures are just really good with Mayhem Devil in general. And Swordtooth could be interesting. I think I'm going to take the Fixing, though. Gotta take the Fixing. I gotta start being a little bit more disciplined. We're getting towards the end of the draft here, so I need to have ways to actually cast my spells. Here, I guess there's a chance we play Crippling Fear. Agonizing Remorse might just be better. We do want a lot of low CMC spells now that we know we are. Okay. I guess Crush the Weak is actually okay in our deck. We have a number of 3/3s. Whatever. We'll just take the Comb Warrior though. I don't know if we'll end up running this, but maybe. Okay, the only card we can run here is Ox. Exquisite Blood. I mean, if we pick up Exquisite Blood, we don't really have... So what you want with this is the... what's his name? The Vampire Cleric who damages your opponent whenever you gain life, because this just makes an infinite loop with him. We don't have that yet. Wow, Valky's probably what we're going to pick here. Cold Steel Heart is a ramp spell that also fixes, which is pretty good. Terramorphic Expanse is really good. With our Mayhem Devil, it's fixing, and also it can ping our opponent. I think I gotta take Valky, though. Valky's crazy good. Valky snipes a creature from our opponent's hand. If they don't have removal, we can turn it into that creature if it's something good. and eventually it's just an unbeatable Planeswalker. So all that together is a pretty good card. Okay, here we see an Evolving Wilds, though, which is probably what we'll pick up. Captain Lannery Storm, I don't think it is as good in our deck as Magda was, even though it has the kind of the same effect where it's going to be spitting out treasures for us. I think this is better. If you have an Embercleave, Captain Lannery Storm is, like, amazing. But I think that's really where she belongs, less than a deck like ours. Some sort of aggressive deck would be good. Here, I'm also kind of tempted to take Sweltering Suns just as a... I would like some kind of Wrath in this deck, potentially. And Sweltering Suns is a low CMC Wrath, which is nice with our Bolas' Citadel. Could also take Luris. But I think we'll take Evolving Wilds. So we've got Evolving Wilds is also good. So it's good for a number of reasons in our deck. One, it is a land that we can sacrifice, which will trigger Mayhem Devil. Gets us a free ping. 2, it's fixing. And 3, it shuffles our deck, which is actually pretty important when we have cards like Rada, cards like Oracle of Moldiah, cards like Bolas' Citadel, all cards that want to look at the top of our deck. Having a way to reset what's on top of our deck is very good. Here, we see a lot of fixing. We see a Vorinclex, which is kind of interesting. Don't really have any way to pay that off. Explorer could also be good. It's just a way to... Good thing to hit with Bolas' Citadel. I think we just take... What do we actually need here? So green, black, green, red. I'll take a green-red land, and I guess we'll take Stomping Ground then. Here, not a lot for us. This pack is a little bit stinky. We could take the Firebrand, which is just kind of fine as a removal spell, and it goes well with our, you know, Mayhem Devil and our Judith. You can get kind of a double ping effect based off of that. And there's nothing really else here we would want to take. Double Vision is powerful, but not in our deck. Erebos' Intervention could be okay. But I think we'll take the Fanatical Firebrand. It's just basically a 1-mana removal spell. Eldest Reborn. So pretty good with like a Mayhem Devil. We can sacrifice, make our opponent sacrifice a creature which will trigger our Mayhem Devil. It's also just a good removal spell against certain decks. Has a lot of value, kind of a 3-for-1. And then eventually it sacrifices itself, which will also trigger our Mayhem Devil. Thief of Sanity is one of the better cards in the cube. Just sort of a 3-mana, I win the game if you don't kill me, which is about as good as you get for 3 mana. And besides that, there's not a lot here, so I guess we take the Eldest Reborn. I don't know if we play it. Bolas' Citadel does kind of want us to play some low CMC cards. Grey Merchant, though, is a high CMC card we might actually play. How much black do we actually have in our deck? Not a ton, but... Yeah, I think if we were green-black, this would be a little more tempting than it is now. I think we just take... I guess this is a sacrifice outlet. We don't actually have a sacrifice outlet yet. We're really hoping to get, like, a Woe Strider or something, but I guess this is a sacrifice outlet. I think we actually take the Witch's Cauldron. It's a 1 CMC sacrifice outlet, which is good. Here, Cosmos Elixir is kind of interesting. It is a way to gain some life. Toski is also pretty good. We have a lot of like dorks that we can kind of get through with our Toski. Although I guess a lot of our stuff isn't really good at attacking. Probably just take Once Upon a Time though. Once Upon a Time, it's a free spell. Free spells are pretty good. It's fixing, it's a land when we need it to be, it's a creature when we need it to be. It just kind of does a little bit of everything. Elfish Reclaimer, man, if we had picked up, we have enough lands here where we could actually play the Field of the Dead. So if we had picked that up, we'd be pretty happy about Elfish Reclaimer, but I think we actually just take the Shatter Skull Smashing here. Okay, well we have an Eska, which could be interesting. Just sort of a ramp spell for 3 CMC. We do have a number of legendary creatures, and it's possible we can get to 5 different colors of mana here. I guess we just probably take the Cold Steel Heart, though. We're going to take the Bastion, actually. We're going to go kind of all in on this sacrifice plan. Okay, here we can probably just pick up Sweltering Suns. We would also actually not be terrible in our deck. Waking the Trolls could also be interesting, but I think we'll just take the Sweltering Suns. Here we'll take the, let's see, red, green, black. I think we take the Rootbound Crag here. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah, I think we take the Rootbound Crag. And then the rest of this is probably just going to be garbage. Probably not really playable stuff for the rest of the packs. Yeah, no. There's Grey Merchant. We might actually play the Grey Merchant. and Throne of the God Pharaoh, which again is actually kind of somewhat playable in our deck. We just have a lot of low CMC creatures, especially mana dorks. You know, we could like tap stuff with the tap our Llanowar Elves to generate mana, have this out, and it's draining our opponent. Although I thought this actually gained life, I misremembered. Okay. The biggest problem with our deck ended up being we don't have a sacrifice outlet besides Witch's Cauldron, which is not the best one. We really wanted to get a free sack outlet, so Woe Strider in particular would have been fantastic in this deck, but we didn't end up getting it. So I think what we're going to do, take out Exquisite Blood. We didn't get the other combo piece for that. Probably take out Eldest Reborn, Ox of Agonis. We don't really have a way to discard that. I mean, a Cold Warrior is kind of a land, so maybe we... I mean, we probably want to play like 18 lands, and that kind of makes it easier. Although I guess we do have Agadeems and Shatter Skull Smashing, so maybe we get rid of the Cold Warrior. It's just not that good and kind of a hindrance, actually. It's not something we can really cast with Bolas of Citadel. We don't want to take 6 damage to cast a 4/5. Besides that, so we effectively have 20 lands in our deck right now, which is pretty much where we want to be when we have something like Oracle, Moldiah, and Rada in our deck. Do we want the Siege Gang? I don't actually think we want the Siege Gang. We don't have any others goblins besides Siege Gang, so there's not like much we can really do with it. It is nice to be able to sacrifice a goblin, you know, deal 2 damage and also deal a 3rd damage thanks to Judith Mayhem Devil, so maybe it's worth it. Grey Merchant's pretty good with Bolas of Citadel, but not really good with the rest of our deck. Maybe we just go down the Grey Merchant, actually. Captivating Crew. We do have the one Witch's Cauldron as a sacrifice. And it's just not a bad... If you go against the right decks, Captivating Crew can just win you the game if you just steal like even an Elder Gargaroth. Getting in a free hit with that is a lot of times just really backbreaking. And being able to steal something and sacrifice it with a Witch's Cauldron is good, although we need 6 mana at that point, which is why you want like a free sacrifice effect. Like if we had a Woe Strider, Captivating Crew gets way better because we can steal one of their creatures and then sacrifice for free. So super good. I think we keep it though. I don't know. We need some interaction, so I don't know if we can get rid of the Sweltering Suns. Agonizing Remorse is also something we probably need to keep. A Braid, Once Upon a Time. We probably need to keep all this. I guess we don't need Blossoming Defense. There's nothing we really want to super protect here. Light Up the Stage. Do we need Light Up the Stage? How much? We probably don't need Light Up the Stage. We have, you know, Crypt Breaker and Last Step Reaver combined can give us some card advantage. And also stuff like Oracle and Rada can technically generate some card advantage and eventually get us to, you know, Bolas of Citadel, which is a lot of card advantage. Almost infinite card advantage, actually. And so here, we've got to cut one more card. I don't think we want to cut either of our MDFC lands. But what do we cut here? I think we're going to go down Agonizing Remorse. I don't know if this is the right choice. We are losing a kind of a key piece of interaction here, but I feel like we need the right synergies for the rest of our deck to come together, and this is kind of the least synergistic piece compared to the rest of our deck. So I'm going to take out Agonizing Remorse, and that's what we're going to run with. So kind of a Jund Sacrifice Bolas of Citadel deck. Pretty interested to see how this goes. Again, the key missing piece that we really would have liked to pick up is Woe Strider. Woe Strider is great with Bolas of Citadel, great with all of our sacrifice payoffs. So I think if we had a Woe Strider in this deck, I would think it'd be just almost perfect. But without that, I think we still have a pretty good deck. So let's see how it goes. On to game 1. Here we go. All right, up against Petrus X, and we will keep this. We got turn 1 Fanatical Firebrand to potentially kill if they go late turn 1 Llanowar Elves. We have a removal spell for it, effectively. Okay, see, this is why Fanatical Firebrand is better than it seems. Alright, well, first we're going to cast our Once Upon a Time, because since it's the first spell we're casting this turn, we get to cast it for free. We're going to take the Stomping Grounds, which is a pretty good pickup. We're going to go Firebrand and just kill this Crypt Breaker dead before it can start causing problems. And that's what I was saying. Firebrand, it kind of reads like an aggressive card, and it is good in an aggressive deck. That is primarily what its function is going to be, but it's also kind of a removal spell. There's a lot of like X1 creatures running around that it does pretty well against. You know, we have a bunch in our hand right now. Crypt Breaker, Valky, Llanowar Elves. there's just a lot of stuff that you want to get off the battlefield, and having a 1-mana answer to those that can also be a creature is pretty nice. Next turn we'll probably just Valky, try to snipe something out of their hand. Oh, they actually had the combo too. Ooh, Mayhem Devil. Very good. But we're going to go... Do we want to hold on to this Valky? We could just go for the Tybalt. I guess we can just run out Crypt Breaker here. We'll see if we end up regretting that, if there's a creature they play here that we really wouldn't want to sniped out of their hand. But I think we're alright. This also means they're likely to use a removal spell on this Crypt Breaker, if they've got one. There you go. And that would have been on our Valky instead, so being able to like exhaust our opponent's removal spells before we play our Valky is pretty nice. Wow, we we both had the Crypt Breaker, Lazarus Reaver hands, huh? Okay, we're gonna go... I guess we go Mayhem Devil here. I guess actually we play Rada. We're gonna play Rada. Set ourselves up for next turn. Well, a little unfortunate the land is on top here instead of next turn. But next turn, if we have another land on top, we can play that off the top. Otherwise, it's just a good 3/3 body, kind of locks down what our opponent's doing as far as creatures. Are they just straight up zombie tribal? Ooh. Okay, so they are a black-white sacrifice deck, so kind of similar to us, but different colors. They're just making some zombies, sure. The good thing is we get to... Oh, yeah. So we're going to play this tapped. We're going to... Do I want to Valky? Now we're going to Mayhem Devil. We're going to Mayhem Devil, and... Let's see if they throw it. I guess we can attack. It's not like they can... Even if they block with everything, our Rada still doesn't die, so... Yep, they're going to make another zombie here. And the thing is, when this Timurit Calls the Dead sacrifices itself, we're going to be able to kill one of their creatures for free with this Mayhem Devil, which is pretty nice. If they play something big here, we can also play Captivating Crew and kill it next turn. I think we are just going to wait out to get the Planeswalker half of this. I mean, we're already most of the way there in terms of lands, and we're likely to hit a few more lands at the top with Rada. Assembling Skeleton, okay. Yeah, we're... Oh yeah, there's another land. I guess we can't really attack here, so we're just going to go Captivating Crew, and no attacks. We get to... I guess I do get to scry quite a bit here, though. I get to scry 4? Ew. But we do get to kill one of their zombies here when their Saga sacks itself, so... Really just looking for a big power play. If we could hit Bolas' Citadel, I guess we're not going to hit it next turn because we know we're drawing Overgrown Tomb. But if we could hit it in the next few turns, it would be quite good. We have the Rada. Opponent's really thinking about what to do here. And we're one turn away from Valky, so next turn we're going to, I guess, just Lazotep Reaver, maybe steal something with Captivating Crew. Alright, they're scrying 3 to the top. We get to ping their zombie. Okay, they're just getting back an Angel of Sanction, sure. They're just going to steal the... Yeah, okay, sure. That's fine, that's fine. We can eventually kill that with our Tybalt, in which case we get back our Captivating Crew. Ooh, okay. Well, Oracle is not this turn, but next turn. Let's see, is this 6 to activate? It is. So I can play the Rootbound Craig, and I can attack in, and if they block, I can activate. Okay, well, that's fine too. They don't have the mana to get it back this turn. So then we'll go Lazotep Reaver, and next turn we're gonna be we're gonna be Tybalting ourselves up here, getting back our Captivating Crew, potentially. If there's something better to kill, we can do that as well. The good thing about, you know, the thing with Tybalt that kind of discourages that play from killing the... Okay, sure. We'll definitely trade here. Yeah, sure. We'll definitely trade here because it leaves us leaves less threats on the battlefield to attack our Valky. Given our opponent didn't really do anything, I think we are going to go Tybalt here and just get back our Captivating Crew. That gives us enough blockers to hold back their stuff, and no attacks. Even though we don't get to play that thing we just exiled with our Tybalt, I think it's worth it to get back Captivating Crew. And next turn we can play Oracle and just start playing a million cards at the top, and eventually we're going to hit this Bolus of Citadel, and then we're just going to win. Tybalt's going to be drawing us a bunch of cards come next turn. They need like a hard removal spell for Tybalt, which does exist in black-white. You know, it could be something here that just straight up kills our Tybalt, but we'll see. They did already use their Bloodchief's Thirst to get rid of the Mayhem Devil, so they don't have that at least. Oldest Reborn, okay. Yeah, get rid of the last Step Reaver, sure. Okay, we're gonna go activate Tybalt. Ooh, we got a Perilous Mirror from them. I guess we can't... Huh. I guess we can't really get rid of that Land of War Elves, so we're gonna go... Let's see here. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we're gonna go Oracle of Moldiah. Play... Steal the Zombie. Attack, attack, and attack. You know what, actually we'll leave back the Rada. I guess we'll leave back the Captivating Crew, actually. We'll attack and attack. Opponent's going to make his discard this Overgrown Tomb next turn, which is fine. So getting some pressure on our opponent, finally. And then next, if they play anything too scary, we have an Abrade to deal with it if it's an artifact or a creature with 3 toughness or less. Alright, they're just going to draw a card, sure. So what are they getting back with their reanimation spell? Get back like a Crypt Breaker, I guess, or maybe a Mayhem Devil. Nothing too great. Land, land, Tybalt. Ooh, Rankle is pretty good. So we're going to play Rankle. We're going to steal our opponent's zombie. We're going to go to combat. Attack, attack, attack. I guess maybe we should have just gone for the ultimate with this Tybalt. Although I guess it's not that good. Tybalt is like a crazy broken planeswalker except for his ultimate, which is just... I mean, you do get to play everything from both graveyards because it's, you know, his emblem accounts for that, but it's not like, for a 7-mana planeswalker, it's not that game-breaking. Okay. Opponent's thinking about how to handle this. There's really not a good choice here. Okay. Yep. Sacrifice. And I guess, what do they got in the hand? They got a couple cards. We don't really need this Land of War Elves. We probably should have played this Land of War Elves first, actually. I was thinking we might want to leave up the mana just in case, but I guess there was no real reason to do that. And then here, we're just gonna... I think we just leave up a Braid. Maybe we place Perilous Mirror. Yeah, we'll just leave up a Braid. What are you gonna get, opponent? And get back a Yard. Okay, they're just gonna get... Okay, they're gonna go on the card draw plan, sure. We'll see. We can steal the Crypt Breaker back as a thing, so... I mean, that's fine. There really isn't... They have to have, like, a game-winning spell here. There's nothing... We're so far ahead in terms of card advantage. Yeah, so they just scoop it up. So, our deck kind of did what we wanted it to do there. We have all these play extra land abilities that got us to our Tybalt. We just kind of completely outvalued our opponent, and we didn't really get the Mayhem Devil synergy as much as we wanted to, but that is kind of a weakness with our deck where we just don't have... We have like one sacrifice outlet, so if we don't draw that, Mayhem Devil is kind of sitting in the background and hoping to eventually go off. We would have liked to pick up a Wrinkle of our own. We would have liked to pick up, Woe Strider or anything else that lets us sacrifice creatures for free. But it's not the world we live in, so I do think our deck is pretty good. So we got to see it in action here against another kind of sacrifice deck with a lot of the same cards. Anyway, on to the next game. Alright, up against Madruga. This is kind of an interesting hand. I think we keep it, but it's got problems. We have 2 good removal spells, and if that's good against what our opponent's doing, okay, well, that's a good thing to kill. Ooh, and we drew a Mayhem Devil too, so we're gonna wait on the Mayhem Devil until we can play it and then crack Evolving Wilds immediately. Get some extra value. Lazotep Reaver. Do we wanna... I think we just pass a turn here and try to abrade our opponent's Knight of the Even Legion. I don't want to do it main phase. I don't want to just feed this. Feed the Swarm is what I would prefer to do to kill this thing, but I'm afraid they have a counter spell up, and I'd rather them just lose that mana. Well, okay. I can't do it now. They'll just grow it out of range. You got me, I guess. Yeah, so here we're going to go Firebrand. I'm going to try to feed the Swarm, see if it gets countered. I mean, I'm tempted to just do nothing, but at least if our opponent counters this, that hopefully gets the counter out of their hand, which means we can abrade this sucker. Okay, sure. Next turn, we're probably just gonna... If they go shields down, we're probably just gonna abrade. Okay, they do go shields down, which is good. I don't think there's anything that saves this except for Spell Pierce, which they already used. Ooh. Okay, so we're gonna... I'm really tempted to play Mayhem Devil. I think we need to kill this thing, though. So we'll go Abrade, Evolving Wilds, get in. And we're not gonna... It might be foolish, but we're not gonna crack the Evolving Wilds here because we plan to play Mayhem Devil next turn anyway. So what we're gonna do is play Mayhem Devil, crack the Evolving Wilds, ping our opponent, and then potentially have a double ping with the Fanatical Firebrand. So that leaves us with three damage. We can split up however we want next turn. So if they play a 3-drop with 3 toughness, we can kill that. If they play a 2-drop and a 1-drop, we can probably kill both of those. So we're just gonna not crack this Evolving Wilds on our opponent's end step. Okay. Sure. I think we discard... I guess we discard these two. Kind of sad, but we're pretty close to the Siege Gang. In fact, we're all the way there, so we're gonna go Mayhem Devil and attack with a Firebrand. Now we're gonna crack the Evolving Wilds this turn, go get a red source and get Siege Gang Commander. We are out of resources, but our opponent is stuck on 3 lands, so that's something. Okay, never mind. Let's see if they have like a Wrath here. A Languish would be bad for us, but it would clear the way for our Siege Gang Commander. We're kind of a weird spot with our mana. We need to get a second red source for the Siege Gang Commander next turn, but also would really like to pick up a 3rd black source for our Bolas' Citadel. So this Evolving Wilds is a little bit awkward. It's kind of the weakness of cards like Evolving Wilds and the pathways to a lesser extent. Okay, lesser extent. So our opponent's going to gain some life here. That's okay, though. We're going to get that life pretty low. So this is just going to be gaining them some life, not drawing them cards. Witch's Cauldron. Interesting. We're going to go... Man, we get so wrecked by a Languish if we play Siege Gang Commander. I wonder if there's a world we're supposed to play Witch's Cauldron here. I'm going to play Witch's Cauldron. Attack. And I'm going to sacrifice... Okay. Swamp, go. We'll see how this goes. I mean, if we draw one more land next turn, we can go Siege Gang Commander and leave up Witch's Cauldron, which is pretty good. Okay. Well, there goes our Mayhem Devil. I wonder... They gotta kill... Yeah, okay. They kill the Mayhem Devil, which makes sense. Okay, well that's another land, which is pretty nice. So we're gonna go Siege Gang Commander. Pass turn. Now we've got a way to kill this Ileana next turn, and also we can start drawing some cards. So if they do have like a hard removal spell here, we can Witch's Cauldron in response. Okay, they're up to 5 mana, which is a little scary. A lot of good planeswalkers they could play at this point. I'm still just really what I'm worried about is the Languish. We had a kind of an awkward turn last turn because I wanted to hit my land drop by activating Witch's Cauldron in the main phase, but also it would have been a lot better if we could leave it up to respond to removal like they played with Liliana. It would have been pretty nice, but we couldn't have both. So I went for the land drop, and I think it did pay us off because now we got to play our Siege King Commander and also leave up our Witch's Cauldron. Let's see what they got here. Sure. They are going to let us, or make us discard this. I wonder, should I do it? You know what? You can have it. I think I prefer to have the card in my hand rather than the extra 1/1. They're just not going to activate Liliana? Interesting. Okay. I guess it makes some sense. But it does mean we get to just kill their Liliana pretty nicely here. Go to combat. Kill Lily.
I'm a survivor.
Crypt Breaker. And pass turn. I did notice a slight pause when we played Crypt Breaker, so I'm pretty sure they have a I'm pretty sure they have the 0 mana counter spell. Something to keep in mind. Shouldn't be too big of an issue, but if we, it means we're probably not going to be able to resolve Bolus Citadel. Sure. So we're going to go Hostage Taker against 2. I imagine they just take the Hostage Taker, but maybe they take the 2, because they really do want to hit their 6th land drop here. I imagine they have stuff like the Blue Gear Hulk, where they want to hit 6 mana, so this might actually be pretty tempting. Oh, they actually took the Hostage Taker, okay. Sure. That's fine. Oh, they already had their 6th land, that's why. Sure, we're going to sack and draw. They played no non-basics, which... Ooh, Valky. So this is, like I said, almost certainly not going to respond, or resolve, but we gotta try. We gotta try. Ooh, they didn't have it! They didn't have it! Oh my goodness, they didn't have it. Let's take the Atris. Llanowar Elf, since we can't leave up the mana for Witch's Cauldron anyway. Hit our opponents so they don't draw cards with the Cosmos Elixir. Now next turn we can go Atris, and we can even sacrifice that Atris later for even more card draw. Our opponent might just hold on to the Hostage Taker so they can steal their own Atris back, potentially, which is fine. We don't have to play the Atris. We can also just keep ticking up this Tybalt. It was also tempting to go after the Cosmos Elixir because they're not really attacking our life, and it would be a good way to draw a bunch of cards. But I think we wanted to get the menacing threat off the battlefield for Tybalt, make sure our Tybalt survives, and we don't have to like triple block and hope things go well. Yeah, so the menace on Atris is really why it had to go. It's a nice card for us to recast too, though, so we're not going to complain. I guess the good thing about them taking this Hostage Taker is we can just sacrifice whatever they try to steal in response. So if they don't play it this turn, if we play it at the Atris next turn and they try to steal the Atris, we can sacrifice it. They might feel like they have to play it this turn just to take something that's not going to get sacrificed. But then Tybalt's going to be drawing us a bunch of cards. Probably too many for our opponent to deal with. I wonder if they intentionally put... Maybe it was just in my imagination, but I was sure that they kind of stopped for a second when we casted Crypt Breaker. And they didn't have the mana up for an actual counter spell. So I wonder if they intentionally like put their stops on just to make me think they had the counter. Alright, so they do feel like they have to cast the Hostage Taker. Go after the Crypt Breaker, I guess. Oh, the Witch's Cauldron. Sure. Yeah, I forgot that could actually take artifacts. I wasn't even thinking about that. That's pretty good. That's our only sacrifice outlet. They don't know that, but it is our only sacrifice outlet. Let's see what we get. Ooh, Poison the Cup. Yeah, let's just kill the Hostage Taker, sure. Play Atris. Well, we don't want any more land, so we're just going to choose whatever this is. Well, that's basically a land anyway, so I think we just go to combat. Yeah, go to combat, attack and attack. Make sure they can't draw a card with this Cosmos Elixir. And then we're going to start making zombies with this Crypt Breaker. So we've got a pretty good attacking force here now. Our opponent is up to a healthy amount of mana though, so there are definitely spells that they could cast, like big Haymaker spells that could maybe turn this around. Stuff like Lake Claim to steal our Tibalt would be pretty good, probably. Although I guess they don't... Stealing our Tibalt is actually pretty bad, isn't it? Okay, Thief of Sanity. That's something we're going to definitely have to kill. Again, that card just wins the game by itself. So we're going to definitely have to try to find a way to kill that. We might just steal our Witch's Cauldron back this turn, I don't know. Sure. Our goal is to let them never draw cards off that Cosmos Elixir. It is keeping them alive. It's gained them like 10 life this game or something, so that's something. Ooh, Bastion. Let's think here. I think we go tick up. We want to tick up here because we're not going to be able to steal the Thief of Sanity. All right. One spot at a time. See what we hit. Ooh, Captivating Crew. Oracle of Moldai is also quite good. Would let us play these extra lands here. Captivating Crew to steal their Thief of Sanity is so good, though. We're going to take Captivating Crew. Now we've got... How much mana here? I think we got enough to steal it. Yeah, so we're going to go Captivating Crew. And if they want to sacrifice their Thief of Sanity to stop us from stealing it for one turn, by all means. Yeah, okay, we're fine with this. It's basically we just paid 4 mana to kill it. Sure. That's A-okay. Hit our opponent with 1 million damage. Pass turn. Next turn we can cast Bastion of Remembrance, which means that Languish isn't going to get us. Part of me thinks we should have casted the Bastion this turn and just taken the hit from the Thief of Sanity, but Thief of Sanity is so good if it survives. Definitely, probably one of, if not the strongest 3-drops in the cube for sure. You just lose the game to it if you don't kill it. It's so crazy. 3 mana, I'm gonna kill you if you don't kill me is really good. So probably a good idea to get that off the battlefield either way. I'll have to decide. I think we don't really care about this Cosmos Elixir anymore. There's not going to be that many more turns of the game. Part of me wants to Tibalt to steal the Witch's Cauldron back, because it would be pretty good. Witch of the Moors. Okay. That doesn't work with Cosmos Elixir, though. Ooh, Agadeem's Awakening. So, what do I got in the graveyard? Oh man, I got a lot of stuff. Okay, opponent just scoops it up. We were going to have a crazy turn, though. So we were going to be able to... Not even taking Tibalt into the equation, because I'm not sure what I would want to do with him exactly, but we could go Blood Crypt, we could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think this is 4, so 9, 10, so I could Agadeem's Awakening for like 7, so I could get back Siege Gang Commander, get back Mayhem Devil, Fanatical Firebrand, Lazotep Reaper, could get back like 5 creatures. Yeah, that's... I guess we have the Llanowar Elves too. So I could actually do it for 5 and also play this Bastion, which would just be game. So, yeah, we had our opponent super dead there. We were going to have a really, really crazy turn, but, you know what? It's fine. We'll just, we're fine with them scooping too. So, sweet. This deck does seem to have some long games, so this might be a long video, but I really like this deck. Sort of a Jund sacrifice, almost control deck. Pretty cool. Tibalt has pretty much won us the game both times. Really good card, turns out. Turns out a card that's good enough to, you know, dominate Eternal formats for a while before they fixed how Cascade worked. But ignoring that, it was good enough to dominate Eternal formats for a while. Turns out it's pretty good in Cube too. So sweet. All right, on to the next one. Okay, we're gonna keep this hand. It kind of is gonna show the power of Once Upon a Time, being able to find us a green source most likely, for no green mana. But that said, if our opponent's on like an aggressive deck, we're probably just gonna die because we're not doing anything until turn 3. Okay, Vera, whatever. Also, it's impossible to hide that you have Once Upon a Time. Well, then I guess there's a green source, so we're gonna go mountain, pass turn. But it's impossible to hide you have Once Upon a Time because your opponent, you know, has the turn 0. Oh, so they're actually on a green-white tokens deck. Interesting. You know, the turn 0 wait for your opponent thing is just too much of a dead giveaway. Huh. I could Once Upon a Time try to hit a 2-drop. I guess there's no real reason to wait. So the thing with Once Upon a Time is you want to hold on to it until you're about to cast your first spell for the game. Right before then, you'll do Once Upon a Time. And I think we'll do it now, even though we don't have something else to do this turn, because we might hit something else to do this turn. And we know for sure next turn we're going to be casting something. Okay. Oh man, Ovira has 2 toughness. I guess we'll just Lazotep Reaver. So we'll go Swamp, Lazotep Reaver. So yeah, that's kind of the tricky bit about Once Upon a Time, is when exactly do you cast it. Usually the answer is, if you have a Once Upon a Time and like another 2-drop, you cast the Once Upon a Time right before you're about to cast that 2-drop, so you can get it for free, and you kind of hold out as long as you possibly can until then to cast the Once Upon a Time. But in a case like ours, where we know we're casting a spell next turn anyway, it kind of makes sense just to go ahead and do it. Okay, I guess we just play the Rada. Opponent's going to make a 1/1 here, most likely. Their Ovaya, which is fine. I mean, a 1/1's not going to change much anything. No attacks. Don't feel like we need to kill it right now. It gets kind of bad when they get up to 5 mana. Ovaya starts to get scary, but I think we can leave it for this turn. Probably next turn too. Probably next turn we're going to go Oracle, especially if there's a land on top. I guess if there's a second land on top. If there's a land on top, we'll just play that. Okay, there's not a land on top, so we might just play Skittering Surveyor. We'll just play Oracle. That's fine. So we'll go land. Let's see if I attack with everything with this Rada. I guess that's fine. If they block with everything, she's got first strike, so more likely than not, they're just going to either take it or just chump with one of their 1/1s. Okay. If they did somehow blow us out here, we lose our Rada, which isn't the end of the world. It's just basically a terrible version of Oracle, so we're not too broken up. Alright, and next turn we can do a lot of things. If they play a land here, they can tap the Ovia to make a 5/5, which is not bad, but that's okay. We're okay with them spinning through turns, just making 1/1s and 5/5s. We got a little bit more going on than that, but we probably will kill it next turn. 1 5/5's not that big of a deal, but okay, first Heroic Games. Huh. Giant killer. Well, nice. Evolving Wilds, Overgrown Tomb. Let's see. 1, 2. 1, 2. I guess we just play this tapped. Whatever. We're not very close to having problems with life, so we'll attack with Rada here, which we can pump if they try to do something. Okay, they just take the 3. I almost wonder if I should just hold on to kill whatever they put the counters on. I think I do. Which is a little bit awkward because it means I get to actually do something with this Ovia when we have a chance to kill it here, but I think that's fine. We're going to go ahead and Skittering Surveyor too. I guess get a Swamp is fine. Well, we were hoping to get a land off the top of our deck. What is it? What is it? Oh, the Evolving Wilds I can still crack. We might... Yeah, we'll see. I think we hold on to Evolving Wilds one more turn here. Okay, so we're just going to kill the Sacred Cat. Unless they play something really crazy here, but probably just going to kill the Sacred Cat so they don't get to draw cards. Okay, sure. We get to train our opponent, though. They get in one hit here with a Sacred Cat. Yeah, I think we... Oh, Bolus the Citadel. Oh, I wish we could draw one more card. I think we... What do we do here? Yeah, we're gonna have to feed the Swarm on Sacred Cat, just to stop them from drawing cards. Drain our opponent. They make a 1/1, and yeah, I think we just leave things, no attacks. It's a little sad we don't get to. Oh, I guess we had another land to play. I forgot Oracle. I was thinking of Oracle letting us play lands off top, but we really should have just played one of the swamps from our hands here, especially because our opponent knows about it, so we don't even have any bluff value. How do they know what's in? I guess they could see us draw them off the top of our deck. Is how they know what's in our hand. Elder Gargaroth, sure. Not too worried about old Gargs when we have a Bolas Citadel coming up with like a million reshuffles. Okay. Bolas's Citadel, sure. Play Bastion of Remembrance. Oh yeah. Play Jadza. Play Fanatical Firebrand. Play Llanowar Elves. Play land. Okay. Ooh, Valky. We're not gonna... I guess we can cast the back half, can't we? Yeah. Back half of Valky. Go down to 3. Exile our opponent's Elder Gargaroth. Play this tapped. And we can actually just sack everything here. How much damage is that? I mean, it's gotta be 20, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess we sack the Valky too. And look at all these triggers. Holy crap. We do like 30 damage to our opponent's face here. And that is why Bolas' Citadel is so ridiculously good. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. Opponent is like 1,000,000% dead there. But yeah, that is why I was so surprised to see Bolas Citadel so late in the draft. Like, what, it just, like, netted us, what, like, I don't even know how many cards, like, 8 cards and, like, 20 mana or something. Like, we were at, I think, 18 life, so 15 mana we casted off this Bolas Citadel, and we were able to just kill our opponent on the spot, you know, drain, so, yeah, it didn't even take into, what was our Bastion of Remembrance triggers? So it didn't even get to our Bastion of Remembrance triggers. I don't even see them on the stack somehow, but anyway... We had the Blood Artist triggers. We had so these were going to drain them for 1 for every one of our creatures that died. Blood Artist was going to drain them for 1 for every one of our creatures that died. Judith was going to drain them for 1 for every one of our creatures that died, and then Bolas Citadel itself was going to drain them for 10. So he sacrificed 9 creatures. So 9 creatures times 3. That's 27, and then 10 more from Bolas' Citadel. That's yeah, 37. So 37 life our opponent was about to lose here on the stack. Pretty good. This is exactly what we wanted our deck to do. This is the plan all coming together here. Bolas Citadel, so crazy. And we never even had to use the reshuffle, but we could have. If we ended up with like an extra land on top that we couldn't get rid of, we could just shuffle our deck. So yeah, just Bolas Citadel is a crazy card. One of the best cards in the cube. Good enough to see regular play and, you know, real kind of powered cubes, although there's kind of a storm enabler, so it's a little bit different, but it's still really good here, especially when you have, you know, life gain like us with Blood Artists and Bastion of Remembrance and our whole sacrifice strategy. So sweet. Yeah, this is our deck, kind of exactly as designed, kind of our draft all coming together here, so can't complain. Sweet. Okay, up against the Sandman. Don't know what that's about, but we've got a pretty good turn 1 Llanowar Elves. Never going to pass that back. So turn 1 Llanowar Elves, turn 2 Rada. Maybe start playing lands off the top of our deck to hit the Siege Gang Commander. Sounds good to me. We do have some fizzle ability potential. If we say we play our Rada here, our opponent kills it, and then we just don't draw a lot of stuff to do. That's some way we could get punished. Usher, okay. Ooh, that's pretty good. So Rada. And next turn we can Oracle. It will be a little sketchy here if they kill our Rada. They got, I mean, they obviously have a pump spell. Do we want to just make them use it on a Rada? Okay. I guess Oracle's just like a better Rada. Whatever. Use the pump spell, fine. What? It was a bluff? You bluffed me? Okay, I didn't expect that. Yeah, I mean, Nice is right. You definitely tricked me. Like I didn't expect that. Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll attack. Alright, so we'll see. Really just want to hit a bunch of lands off the top. Next turn we can cast Siege Gang Commander anyway. Okay, so our opponent's just on like straight up white weenie. And was just bluffing us hardcore with that attack. I'm still kind of flabbergasted. So we have two options here. We could try to Once Upon a Time to hit another land, which I guess we do, because it could also put lands on top of our deck. So we'll take... We want to be able to cast a Siege Gang no matter what, so we're going to take the Stomping Ground. But hopefully we'll end up with lands, yeah, on top of our deck here. And then we will attack with Rada. Hit our opponent for 3. Okay, or they just don't want to take the 3. That's fine. Play Siege Gang Commander, and now we can, if they play this Sigrid, which they just found off their Militia Bugler, we can just kill it and get our creature back, so no real danger. Sweltering Suns is also pretty good against White Weenie. It also currently blows up our entire board too, but if they go like, you know, worst case here, if they go Wrath of God, we have a way... Oh, wow. Blood Artist. Do we have any way to shuffle? I guess we don't. Okay. Well, we're just going to go to combat. Attack with Rada. One's going to flash in their dude. Sure. And in response, we're just going to kill their dude. So our Rada doesn't go away. Opponent takes it, I assume. Okay, yep, they take it. Then we go Lazotep Reaver. And we're not going to sacrifice our goblins this turn if we have any choice in the matter. So we're going to hold off on that because we really want to just play this Blood Artist next turn and just kill our opponent. Lyradom, well, we're going to have to kill that. We cannot suffer that life gain. Oh yeah, land. Woo. Blood Artist. And we'll attack with Rada first. Maybe they just feel like they have to chump with the Lyra and gain 5 life. I think we're probably just gonna kill this Lyra if they don't chump. We'll just sack all 3 of our goblins to kill the Lyra. Okay, we're fine with that, sure. And do we want to just do it now? I guess so. Sacrifice a goblin. Drain our opponent. Sacrifice a goblin. Drain our opponent. Sacrifice a goblin. Drain our opponent. We could have gone towards their face, but I think we'll just kill their Lyra here. Drain our opponent. And we're pretty set up to kill them no matter what. They are not in good shape. Well, Skyclad Cleric does save them for a turn here. But it also means we get to swing in with everything. Charming Prince, okay. Sure. Land. Ooh, Mayhem Devil. Now I kind of regret doing what we did. But let's just go to combat. Let's see if we yeah. Go to combat, attack. You know what? We don't really need any of these anymore, not even the Oracle. Okay. I think you might want to rethink that about it. Yeah. Okay. Opponent thought about it a little bit more. Sure. Yep. Drain our opponent. We are just going to go cycle. Oh, okay. Field of Ruin, Mayhem Devil, and we can crack this Field of Ruin, ping them for 1 with a Mayhem Devil, and also blow up their Crawling Bear and just get a blocker out of the way. So we should be good here. I don't think there's anything they can play that saves them from this situation. We can even start drawing cards next turn with Crypt Breaker, if we felt like it. There's probably... Okay, opponent scoops it up. There's... admittedly, we probably could have done this in a way where we kill our opponent. So when we had the Siege Gang Commander on the battlefield, we could have done something like attack with everything. If our opponent... Whatever our opponent blocks with the Lyra Dawnbringer, if it's a Goblin, we can just sacrifice it. And if it's a non-Goblin, we could sacrifice one of our Goblins to ping our creature that it's blocking. That would stop them from gaining the 5 life. And maybe we could have just killed our opponent with that. But... you know, or even we could have done it like pre-combat, so we could have swung in with a little bit more to get our opponent, like, I don't know, like 4 points lower on life. There's probably ways we could have played this a little bit more cutthroat, but I think we were fine also sitting back, because, I mean, our opponent wasn't pressuring our life total at all, and we eventually are going to hit like a Bolas' Citadel, so it kind of behooves us not to play in a way that is risky, because we kind of, you know, we're going to win pretty much no matter what, as long as they don't just blow us the fuck out in some way, so... yeah, I think I'm fine with the way we played it. I think maybe could have been a little bit better in some places, but I'm okay with that. Anyway, alright. Took down the Sandman. On to the next one. Alright, we're up against Manowar Elves. And we're going to keep this hand. We got Witch's Cauldron into Last Step Reaver. If we draw a 3rd land, I'd like to keep this... oh, okay, that changes things. That changes things. We got the combo. Crypt Breaker plus Last Step Reaver is legit. So we're going to take a lot of life damage here, but our opponent look like they're playing a blue-black deck, so hopefully it's fine. Don't kill it, bro. Don't do it. Don't kill our Crypt Breaker, please. Please! They're eyeballing it. They're thinking, should I kill this Crypt Breaker? Don't. It's just a Crypt Breaker, dude. Come on. It's not going to do anything. It's literally a 1-mana 1/1 with like 2 paragraphs of text on it. Okay, Archfiend's Vessel. Yeah, we're just going to set up the combo here. We can't really play Witch's Cauldron and also leave up the activation. So there's no reason not to just set ourselves up to draw a card here. Drawing that that non-pain land was actually pretty key too, because we were going to have to burn ourselves down to 15 to start drawing cards. This gives us a little bit more cushion. And next turn we can go like... I don't know. I guess we can go Judith. And maybe just start attacking. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be hard not to just draw cards, though. To be honest. It might be better just to play Witch's Cauldron. I don't know. Our opponent is struggling on lands. That's something to keep in mind. Okay, Fatal Push. That kind of helps us solve this dilemma. Because now we can just go... yeah, we can just go Stomping Grounds, Judith, attack with the boys here. I imagine they just trade, yeah, the Archfiend's Vessel. They want that in the graveyard anyway. But we'll worry about that when it becomes a problem. Next turn, we'll probably just play Mayhem. I don't know, we don't have a second Black Source, do we? And I don't want to play this Academ's Awakening as a land when we have a spicy 1-drop already sitting in our graveyard and a spicy 1-drop 2-drop combo. Okay, that's pretty good though. That's pretty good. So instead of playing Mayhem Devil here, we're going to go Witch's Cauldron. And if they use our removal spell, one of our creatures, we're going to Witch's Cauldron it in response. Although it looks like they're going to just do it now. Sure. I mean, having to use removal spell on our Judith is fine too. Attack. Question is, do we want to play the Mayhem Devil here? I think the answer is yes. They have missed at least 1 land drop. They don't have a second Black Source. So something like Languish, they have to... Okay, see, just drawing a blue source means something like Languish isn't on the table. Sure. Let's do this. Shark Typhoon against 2. They're not going to take either of those other cards. Okay, wow. We're okay with this. And here we will go... I guess they're tapped out. We don't have a third black source, though. Yeah, so we're just going to go... We could Shatter Skull Smashing. We'll just feed the Swarm. Yeah. Feed the Swarm on Atris, take 4. Leave up our sacrifice. Play a Mountain, pass turn. It would have been great if we had one more black source that we could just pop off our Agadeem's Awakening. Even just for 1, so we could start drawing cards would be nice. Well, there goes our graveyard. So, Agadeem's Awakening is going to now turn into a land, most likely. Sure. Oh, our Bolas is Citadel. That's brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Do I want to sacrifice? Nah. I'll just kill the dude right now. Kill the dude right now. We do need to kill this thing. And by not sacrificing on our end step, we have... Yeah, we have a good answer here. Pop the Mayhem Devil. Kill, or hit the Ashiok. Man, we don't want to... We did not want to draw this. Can we choose up to... Yeah, Planeswalkers. So, calm down, dude. We're gonna go Shatter Skull Smashing. 1, 2. Kill this dude before he messes up our plans anymore. Which lets us keep the Mayhem Devil in the graveyard, which can be good if we do want to use this Agadeem's Awakening. If our opponent just, like, kills our Lazarus Reaver somehow here. Patient. Oh! That's actually really good for us with Agadeem's Awakening. So we're gonna go... Captivating Crew. Zagoth Triome. Attack. And now they can't really play creatures. Well, we wanted to hit a non-3-drop creature to get back with Agadeem's Awakening. But killing that Ashiok was pretty key there, because it does seem like mill is their main strategy to win the game. It's a fairy, okay. Well, we're gonna have to kill that Teferi. So we're not gonna sack this Reaver now, even though it would be nice. Alright, kill the Teferi. Opponent's gonna loot a little bit. I mean, if they minus on the Captivating Crew, that doesn't really do anything. Sure.
I do love a good puzzle.
We're kind of hoping they discard this negate. Alright. No luck. Kill that. Gilded Goose. And we're not going to run out our Agadeem's Awakening into a counterspell. Man, we just hit... Wow! That is really good for our opponent. Triple lands. Nothing for us to get back with our Agadeem's Awakening. Almost all the lands left in our deck were on the top 3 cards of our deck. That means our opponent gets to draw 3 thanks to this Patient Rebuilding, and we don't get any value for our Agadeem's Awakening, so just really not good for us. We'll probably just sacrifice the Gilded Goose here, though. It is a 1-drop. Sure, that's fine. We can just steal that with Captivating Crew and sack it. This is going to make a token, sure. And unless they have a kill spell for Captivating Crew, this doesn't really do anything, though. I am not gonna sacrifice the Gilded Goose. Oh, Folio. Okay. Huh. That's a little scary. Yeah, I think I gotta sacrifice the Gilded Goose now. This is bad if they have a removal spell for our Captivating Crew, because I don't have the thing up to protect it. Okay. Sure. Well, we are just going to steal the dude here. Go to combat. Hit our opponent. Alright. Then we'll sacrifice this guy, draw a card, so they can't have it back on defense. And yeah, we'll play the Swamp, pass turn. Yeah, this negate sitting in their hand has really made things a little more difficult for us. Yeah, we each draw a card. We're probably just gonna have to. Wow, they hit 3 lands twice in a row. We've hit 0 creatures. What is going on here? Where are all our creatures? We've just hit. Are all 6 of the cards on the bottom of our deck creatures? That's crazy. We're probably just gonna have to. I should have abraded the folio, I guess. That might have been a mistake. I should have abraded the folio before they untapped, because they're gonna be able to mill us for 3 here with the folio. Huh. I think I'm gonna Once Upon a Time and Fail to Find, because that'll put me at 3 cards in hand. So I'll mill 3, have 3 left, and I'll still have this abrade to potentially remove a blocker. Because at this point, the folio is only going to get 1 more activation anyway. Sure. We can just steal that, so that's no big deal. They're not going to activate the folio of fancies? Oh, okay, we can really punish this line. We can just steal both their creatures, right? Okay, yeah, this should be good for us. So we just... Oh, I guess we can't even abrade. I was thinking we could abrade, but we'll just go Once Upon a Time. See if this gets countered. I imagine it does not. Is there anything that's good for us here? I guess Fanatical Firebrand. Get 1 more point of damage across. Yeah, we'll take Fanatical Firebrand. Play activate Captivating Crew on our opponent's Thief of Sanity. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Aghanim's Awakening as a land untapped. Activate Captivating Crew on our opponent's Karnstruct, which will be a 3/3 for us as well, and then Fanatical Firebrand, and that should do it. Ooh. Okay, that was close. Our opponent had us pretty close to milled out there. Our opponent had, like, the best patient rebuilding look I've ever seen. They played this patient rebuilding, and we were hoping they hit creatures. We're like, oh yeah, a mill spell that's going to mill us into creatures to reanimate with our Aghanim the Undercrypt. And they literally hit 3 lands in a row, followed by 3 lands in a row. Drew 6 cards and gave us nothing to work with. So that was just brutal. But Captivating Crew was the all-star here. You can really see where this card is very, very good if you have a free sack outlet. Here we had enough mana where it didn't matter too much. We could just activate this Witch's Cauldron. But if you have a free sack outlet, it's just 4 mana. Steal a creature, hit your opponent with it, and then kill it. It's like the ultimate kill spell. But even without the free sack outlet, we did pretty good here. And our opponent, they probably, I guess they couldn't have, I don't know. Let's see, they have 6, 7, 8 mana. So they could have both players draw 4. Yeah, I guess we still wouldn't have died, would we? So, yeah, I guess they really just didn't have a way to kill us. This folio is a very easy way to mill somebody out. You don't even need to be running a mill strategy for this card. You can just play this in, like, your control deck. And you can just, like, play this on turn 2, mill them on turn 3, mill them on turn 4, mill them on turn 5, and then they're dead. If they don't have, like, a quick enough plan to kill you by turn 5, the game's just over at that point. You've just milled their entire deck with 1 card. But we were able to beat the mill deck, so sweet. Kind of interesting, kind of like half mill, half artifact strategy our opponents seem to have with this this Karn and this Stonecoil Serpent and such. Maybe it was just a mill deck with some artifacts thrown in, but yeah, interesting deck anyway. All right, on to the next one. All right, up against Database, and yeah, we will keep this. We got the turn 1 Llanowar Elves. Again, Llanowar Elves, one of the best cards in the cube. May not seem like it at first glance, but it is definitely the case. Ah, well, this Once Upon a Time's kind of late to the party. I think we just go, rather than just run out Bastion here, we're going to go Canyon Slough, and just pass a turn, no attacks. And this way we can Once Upon a Time dig something out of our deck, and then next turn we can, like, Radar or something. Opponent is on Bant. Interesting. Do we need a land? I guess we take the last step Reaver. Putting Bolus Citadel at the bottom is a little sad, but that's alright. We're going to go Rada. Because we know Bolus Citadel is on the bottom, I think we actually are going to cycle this Triome. Getting up to 6 mana would be nice, especially having this extra black source for the Zagoth Triome, because if we cycle it away, we only have 2 black sources, but I think it's worth it. Well. Interesting. I guess we just go Bastion of Remembrance. Hit our opponent for 3. If they have a pump spell, they have a pump spell. They do not. Okay. Then Oak-Grove Tune taps, pass turn. I guess we could have played Laztep Reaver there. We probably should have. I was too distracted by this Siege Gang Commander coming up. Yeah. Opponent's still doing nothing. What could they flash in here that would ruin our day? Not much anything, really. Just attack with Rada. Play the Siege Gang Commander. Yeah, regretting not playing that Laztep Reaver last turn. Don't know why I valued the extra life. Is there any reason? Nah, we're not gonna play this Zagoth Triome because we're likely to hit extra lands off the top of our deck with this Rada. So we just don't. We'd rather have the card draw. All right, well that's kind of a problem. Here we go. Land. So I don't have 3 red sources, so I can't actually kill the Elder Gargaroth. I could attack with Rada. Yeah, you know what? We'll attack with Rada. If they block, then we can just pump skis. Sure. Well, no, we don't even need to pump skis. And main phase 2. Laztep Reaver. And just plan on cycling this Zagoth Triome. We are getting our opponent pretty close to death here. The Great Hinge might change that. Okay. Do they have a follow-up? If they can play something big... That's something big. Alright. I get to gain some life too. Wow, okay. Make a 3/3. So let's see here. If I sack, that's 2, 4, 6, 9. Yeah, I'll just take the 6. Sure. And cycle the Triome. Oh. Ah, we're one... Okay, actually... Geez. Okay, we're gonna go land... Cycle the Sweltering Suns. Mayhem Devil... I guess I should have played this land first so we had the green mana, but we can go Fanatical Firebrand. Set ourselves up to kill our opponent like crazy next turn. No attacks. Let's see how much life they can gain, though. That's the big problem here. Well, I was hoping that would tap them out, but it really doesn't. Okay. That's not so bad. And hopefully they only got enough mana for 1 more creature. That's not even a creature. Okay. Alright.
I am Predator. I like animals better than people.
Sure, we'll take the 7. Hopefully they just make a token. Okay, they gain 3 life, so that's the smart thing to do. No blocks. We're going to try to kill our opponent this turn. Sure, draw a card. I don't care. Alright. So. Man, this is really hard to do in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Am I one short? I think I'm one short. Okay, whatever. I'll just go for it. This makes my brain hurt. We're just gonna try. I think I'm actually short, though. It's a lot of damage, though. Maybe we can finish him up the following turn. Yeah, I think we're just a little bit short. I feel like we had to. Maybe we can. I mean, depending on how they attack here, maybe we can. Okay. Well, that's gonna do it. Yeah. So we had to go for it like we did, because otherwise we were just straight up dead here. Thanks to this Ulamog, so we wouldn't have been able to get any damage through. So, yeah, they just managed to barely squeak across the line here. We were just 2 damage short from killing them. Sure. So, we might be able to block in a way that we survive this turn, but there's nothing we can really draw that changes things. Let me just double check to be sure. Yeah, we're just dead. We'll just take it. Alright, so we did end up losing there. I think, yeah, especially now that we saw the Ulamog, we had to try to win that turn. And the reason I felt like we had to go for it there is the Mirari's Wake, doubling their mana, the fact they were just going to be drawing a million cards. It's almost certain that they were going to either kill us or find removal for our stuff on that turn. So I felt like we had to go for it, but we just turned up, we were just 2 life short, so this close to killing them. And if we had, maybe if we attacked a little more aggressively. Huh. Yeah, the Elder Gargaroth really complicates things, because, like, on that last... Maybe... Oh, jeez. Now that I think about it, on that last turn, did we have enough creatures to attack in with everything? And if they blocked the Gargaroth, they would gain 3 life. But are creatures dying to Bastion of Remembrance? I think we had tokens, though. I don't know. There's probably some line we could have taken there to win the game, but yeah, it's a lot of math, and I I just kind of went for it and hoped we got there. I didn't think we were going to get there, but we got within 2 life, so possible there's a way we could have won that. But the Gargaroth really complicated things. The fact that Gargaroth has Vigilance, although I guess we could have killed the Gargaroth. I don't know. Anyway, on to the next one. Alright, up against Kongi, and we will... Oh, it's Kong 1, actually. Whoops. But we will keep this. We got the Once Upon a Time to help find our green source. And our opponent now knows we have the Once Upon a Time, because nothing else is going to stop you on turn 0 playing your land. So here we're just going to go ahead and play the Witch's Cauldron. I'm going to stay up late at night thinking about that game. I'm pretty sure we could have won. I think we needed to use the Feed the Swarm on the Elder Gargaroth, and then not sack the last goblin and just attack him with everything, and I think our opponent would have been dead. I don't know. Yeah, I probably should have thought about it a little bit more. I think we had our opponent dead there, and I just didn't quite play it right, but c'est la vie. Okay, here we're going to go... Do we want a Once Upon a Time? Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, well, whoops. While I was thinking about our previous game, I didn't cast our Once Upon a Time. Okay, got to get my head in the game that's happening right now. So now we can't cast Once Upon a Time for free because I cast this Witch's Cauldron. So, okay. Bygones be bygones. Let's focus on the game that we're actually doing at the moment. Okay, well, there goes Oracle. Oracle is deed. I guess on the positive side, we have Once Upon a Time for later in the game. We need to find action. So let's just go Field of Ruin, Skittering Surveyor. Go get a Guess we don't need 2 green sources, do we? So I'll go get a mountain. 1 green source is probably enough, but we do want a second red source for our goblin. Next turn we can go Lazotep Reaver, leave up to Ashiok. Alright, we're gonna need to find a way to deal with Ashiok. Well, at least I just got a bunch of lands. I didn't really want those lands anyway. Ooh, Siege Gang Commander. Okay, well that's good for next turn. We're gonna go to combat, attack the Ashiok. Hopefully our opponent just lets it through. They do not. Okay. That makes me think they probably have a removal spell here. I'm gonna go Lazotep Reaver. Or rather, they probably have a Wrath here. But we can leave up Witch's Cauldron to draw a card in that case. And if they don't have a Wrath, they do. Okay. So we will sacrifice Reaver, draw a card. That would have been a really good answer to our Siege Gang Commander though, and now they don't have it anymore. I'd really just like a way to kill this Ashiok. Rada's not that. So we're just gonna go Siege Gang Commander here. They need to have specifically another Wrath to deal with this Siege Gang Commander. There's an army and a can, so just having 1 removal spell isn't going to do it. And getting this Ashiok off the battlefield is absolutely essential. We can't let it mill us 3 more times, or we're going to definitely lose the game. Yeah, Ashiok's a pretty messed up card. There's a lot of, I don't know, mill cards are kind of interesting in Arena Cube, where they're just kind of like individually powerful. Like you don't really need to be running a mill strategy. It's not like our opponent's running a bunch of mill cards. They just so happen to have an Ashiok, so we might get milled out, you know. And the same Folio of Fancies is the same way, where it's like you don't have to put a bunch of mill cards in your deck. You can just play Folio of Fancies, and it's going to be a good finisher. Okay, let's just get rid of. See, it was good we didn't cast the Once Upon a Time. We can just discard it now. I think we'll get rid of the. Let's see, how much toughness? Okay, yeah, we'll get rid of the Firebrand. If it had enough loyalty left that we would need to. Aw, not our Tybalt. All right, let's kill this guy finally. Hit our opponent, or I guess Ashiok's not a guy, but whatever, it's okay. And pass turn. Oh, Bolas' Citadel is coming up. Okay, I like that. And if our opponent has a mill spell here, like if they do something to try to mill us, we can just sacrifice a creature in response. And, well, we're going to sacrifice a creature in response anyway. Not a mill spell, but this does put the Bolas' Citadel in our hand. Bolas' Citadel is a little scary at this point, to be honest, because our deck isn't especially big. We do kind of run the risk of milling ourselves out, but I still think we go for it. So, Bolas' Citadel. Sure. Whatever. Is there any reason to play it on tap? No. Well, that's a little sad. Alright. Can you kill us before we kill you, opponent? Got you down to 13. Cloud Blazer, okay. We do have a removal spell, though. That's pretty good, though. Jeez. That's not really what we want to see. Land, Bastion of Remembrance is pretty good. And he will sacrifice the Gilded Goose. Ping our opponent. Oh yeah, Judith. Blood Artist. Is this the last? Oh god, okay, well we can't. Okay, we got our opponent dead here though. We could just sacrifice everything to Bolas' Citadel. Okay, so let me make sure this is 10 non-land permanents. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh god, do we have to sacrifice now? No, it's okay. I can just play this Crypt Breaker. Okay. Woo! Yeah. So that actually leaves us. Oh, it doesn't leave us short, but anyway. Boop. Bop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bam. Opponent is dead. Big finish. Have to target our opponent a million times. But again, they, just like previously, they are machine gunned down by about 1,000 triggers. So, woo! Bolas Citadel, so good, so good. Alright, on to the last game. So either, actually I guess if we lose the last game we get one more, but maybe the finals. Let's see. Okay, up against P. Davich 24, and we will keep this. Not the most cohesive hand, but we do have a good turn 1 play with Crypt Breaker here. If our opponent plays something we need to kill with Firebrand, we can. Otherwise, we'll probably just leave up the mana to activate Crypt Breaker and make a zombie. Okay, yeah, especially with a Braid. Now we can kind of do it like this. No attacks. Yeah, we'll have to think about what we... I guess we discard the Fanatical Firebrand here. If it's not going to be something we can answer this early in the game, they're not likely to have a 1 toughness thing we need to kill. But we'll go ahead and make a zombie. Ooh, Llanowar Elves, nice. So we're going to go to combat, attack. Llanowar Elves means we can go Overgrown Tomb, play it, and we can leave up a Braid and also the ability to make a zombie. Pass turn. Then we can start drawing cards. I kind of want to keep the Skittering Surveyor, but we'll see. Okay, well... Shh. Do I want to... Okay, I guess there's no reason to do this before I get milled. So Teferi's Tutelage, this is probably just an actual mill deck. Teferi's Tutelage, it does do the job of milling you by itself, but not quite as good as the other kind of individually powerful mill spells, I feel like. Yeah, okay, we'll get rid of this. Play Bastion of Remembrance. And I think I just attack. I think we just want to get our opponent as low as we can here, because they're likely to, like, Wrath, and I don't think drawing 1 card is worth missing out on 5 damage. You know what? We're actually not going to play the land. I might end up regretting that, but... Aw, not of my Judith. I think we want to have our opponent... Our opponent is likely to Wrath here, especially... I mean, if they've got it, they're going to do it. But if they do, they're going to take a bunch of damage. And by attacking here... Okay, Ashiok we do not care about. Normally we would. We've got our opponent on a pretty fast clock here. Sure, so we're going to go to combat, attack our opponent. I mean, now we'll play the land because we got 2 other things to do. But I mean, what is our opponent going to do here? They need like a way to kill our board that doesn't kill it, like that, like exile everything. Okay, Lyra's pretty good. We have a way around it though. We actually are going to win here by abrading our own creature. So yeah, we'll just pass turn, and now we get to go. So let's make sure. So they block. They take 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they die exactly. So go to combat, attack with everything at our opponent, and then we just abrade our own creature, whichever one this Lyra blocks. Kill our own creature so they don't gain life. They get drained out. Bam, 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 and they are dead, and that's the draft. All right, so we had a really cool deck I really haven't seen. I've played quite a few arena drafts at this point, and we played the deck I really haven't seen before, which is sort of a Jund sacrifice deck with the Bolas Citadel payoff. I'm sure somebody's drafted it, but I haven't seen it before. I haven't run into it yet, so it's pretty cool. We get to build a pretty unique deck in the cube and have it really kind of pay off. We lost 1 game, a game I think we might have been able to win. I'm not 100% sure. I have to go back and look at the footage. I'm pretty sure what we could have done is attack with everything, and then, or we could have used the removal spell on the Elder Gargoth, which would stop them from gaining life when we attacked, and then because they didn't have that life gain, we could have swung in with everything. If they blocked, they would have died from the life drain, and if they didn't block, they would have died from the combat damage. So I'm pretty sure we could have won like that, but whatever, it doesn't matter. We won the draft, we played pretty well for the most of the rest of our games, and we played with a really interesting and unique deck. So got 6,000 gems, or 6,000 coins, got 60 gems, which is kind of Didn't actually get any cards, just got a bunch of gems. But hey, that's fine. That means I get to do more drafts. So sweet. Anyway, I had a blast. Arena Cube, I think, has officially made it to really fun cube status, where it's not just sort of like mid-rangey piles of just play a bunch of card draw, play a bunch of ramp. You can build ramp decks, but they have to be actually good ramp decks. It's not just like whatever, just throw together a pile of cards. It really does feel like you need something going on, a specific strategy like we had, where we had, you know, the sacrifice synergies going on, but we also had the Bolas Citadel strategy, which was really won us a lot of our games, right? It just, the ability to just go off, go over the top of anything like Bolas Citadel lets us do. You kind of need something like that in the cube right now, I think. I think it's at that power level of like a real cube, where you either got to stop things by being really interactive, having a lot of counter spells, having a lot of removal, a lot of ways to keep yourself alive so you can kind of play the value game without dying to some unfair bullcrap, or you got to be playing unfair bullcrap. Like, you got to have to kind of pick a lane and have to really think about what you're drafting, I think, to have great success. Not that you can never play some like mid-rangey stuff and do well, you can, but when you play decks like that, you're going to run into just unfair stuff happening, and it's just going to beat you. And so to have a really well-performing deck like we did, I think it really helps to be doing something busted. And that Bolas' Citadel was the key pickup. If you see Bolas' Citadel, take it if you can. I mean, that's arguably the best card in the entire cube. I think actually the best card in the entire cube is probably Golos. I think Golos and Field of Ruin or Field of the Dead, whatever it's called, the one that makes zombies. I think they're arguably should not be in the cube together. I think it's just by far the best thing you can do in the entire cube. It's just play Golos, go get Field of the Dead, and then you beat pretty much anything that's fair at all. Like, nothing can keep up with Field of the Dead if you build around it. And just having a way to tutor that out that's also a game-breaking finisher itself is really good. So I think Golos and Field of the Dead are probably the best thing to do in the entire cube, but Bolas' Citadel is like only a step behind. Bolas' Citadel is also one of the best things, so it is kind of a sin that we picked up as late as we did. Halfway through Pack 2, it's just nuts. So don't let that happen to you. Don't be the other people in our draft. Get Bolas' Citadel and win the game like we did. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking. If you liked watching this, you know, I have some other drafting videos up. I have some other Commander videos. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. I sure enjoyed playing. This has been 2D, and I'll see you next time.